I want to talk about something most men are too embarrassed to admit controls them. Not money, not fear, not failure. Porn. And more specifically, what happens to your brain, your body, and your entire life when you cut it off for 30 days. Because here's what nobody in your life is going to tell you. This isn't a moral conversation. This isn't about religion. This isn't about shame or guilt or being a prude. This is about neuroscience. This is about what that habit is literally doing to your dopamine system, your testosterone levels, your drive, your focus, your relationships. Every single day you keep doing it. Most men go their entire lives never making this connection. They wonder why they're tired all the time. They wonder why they can't focus, why motivation feels impossible, why women don't respect them, why they feel like they're running on empty no matter how much sleep they get. And they never once look at the one habit they've had since they were 14 years old. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what the science says happens to your brain and body in the 30 days after you eliminate PMO, week by week. And I'm going to give you the framework and the plan to actually do it. Not theory, not inspiration, evidence, and a system. Let's go. Here's the truth. Nobody in the self-improvement space wants to say out loud, you cannot build a high-performance mind on a dopamine-damaged brain. Let me explain what I mean by that. Your brain runs on a chemical called dopamine. Dopamine is not a pleasure chemical. That's the myth. Dopamine is a motivation chemical. It's the signal that tells your brain, this matters, pursue this, move toward this. Without a healthy dopamine system, you have no drive, no ambition, no ability to delay gratification. Nothing gets done. Now here's what pornography does. It delivers a dopamine hit, a massive, artificial, unearned spike, far beyond anything your brain was designed to handle. A meal gives you a small dopamine reward. Winning a competition gives you a bigger one. But pornography, especially internet pornography with infinite novelty, triggers a dopamine flood that the human brain has never had to deal with in the history of evolution. And your brain responds the only way it can. It starts down-regulating. It reduces the number of dopamine receptors so it doesn't get overwhelmed. It raises the threshold for what counts as rewarding. This is the trap, and most men are living in it. When your dopamine receptors are down-regulated, everything real feels flat. Work feels pointless. Exercise feels like a chore. Building something feels boring. Talking to a real woman feels awkward and unrewarding compared to what your screen can give you instantly. You're not lazy. You're not broken. Your reward system has been hacked, and you've been hacking it yourself every time you open that browser. There's a study from the Max Planck Institute that found men who watched more pornography showed less gray matter in the striatum, the part of the brain responsible for motivation and reward processing. Less matter, structurally different, not a theory, a brain scan. And here's what makes it even worse. The brain doesn't distinguish between the action and the simulation of the action. When you watch pornography, your brain fires like you're actually engaged with a real partner. You're getting the biological signal of a sexual encounter, with none of the real-world requirements. No courage, no risk, no rejection, no investment. You're training your brain to get rewards without earning them. And then you wonder why real life feels so hard. The good news, and this is the part I need you to actually hear, is that your brain can heal. The neuroplasticity research is clear. Dopamine receptors regenerate. Gray matter comes back. The reward system resets. But it takes time, consistency, and the willingness to sit in discomfort while your brain rewires. 30 days is where the data starts getting interesting. Let me walk you through what the science shows happens week by week. Because this isn't a straight lineup. It's a process, and if you don't know what's coming, you'll quit in the middle of it and think something is wrong with you. Week 1. The withdrawal. Days. 1 through 7 are the hardest. Your brain is used to a dopamine flood it's been getting on demand. When you cut it off, it pushes back hard. You will feel irritable. You may feel anxious. Your focus will be worse before it gets better. You might feel foggy, restless, flat. Some men report what's called a flat line, where libido drops almost to zero and they feel nothing. This is your brain recalibrating. It's normal, it's temporary, and it's the evidence that your system was more dependent than you knew. Most men quit here. They feel worse, they don't understand why, and they go back to what gave them relief. Don't. Week 1 is the storm before the calm. Week 2, the fog starts to lift. By day 8 to 14, something begins to shift. The dopamine receptors that were down-regulated start to sensitize. Real things start to feel more rewarding again. You may notice you're more present in conversations. Food tastes better. Music hits different. Small wins actually feel like wins. This is also when testosterone starts to move. There's a well-documented study published in the Journal of Zhejiang University showing a significant spike in testosterone levels around day 7 of abstinence. Some subjects showed a 45% increase. By week 2, testosterone is elevated and climbing. More drive, more aggression in the right sense, more energy. Week 3, the rewire begins. Days 15 through 21 are when men start reporting significant mental shifts. Focus improves. The ability to sit with discomfort increases. Procrastination drops. Many men report a clarity of thought they haven't felt in years. This is also when social confidence begins to recover. Because pornography trains you to be a passive observer. You watch, you don't participate. Cutting it off forces your brain to re-engage with real social reality. Eye contact starts to feel natural again. The anxiety around real interaction decreases. Your brain is beginning to remember what it feels like to want something real. Week 4, integration. Days 22 through 30 are where the identity shift happens. The rewire is taking hold. The new baseline is establishing itself. Men who reach day 30 consistently report 5 things: higher sustained energy, better sleep quality, stronger emotional regulation, improved self-respect, and a deeper motivation toward their actual goals. Your brain is not the same brain it was on day 1. The gray matter is rebuilding. The receptors are resensitizing. The dopamine system is recalibrating to a real-world baseline. 30 days is not the finish line. It's the proof of concept. It's the evidence that you are capable of doing what you said you would do, and that your brain, given the chance, will rebuild itself in your favor. Knowing what happens is not enough. The road to 30 days is full of moments where your brain will find every reason to go back. So here is the exact system. Step 1. Understand what you're actually fighting. This is not a willpower battle. Willpower runs out. What you're fighting is a conditioned neural pathway, a habit loop that your brain has grooved deeply over months or years. Every time you've used PMO as a stress relief mechanism, a boredom solution, or an avoidance tool, you've deepened that groove. You're not going to white-knuckle your way out of a deep neural groove. You're going to replace it. Step 2. Identify your triggers. Every relapse has a prehistory. It doesn't happen randomly. It happens after a specific sequence: stress, or boredom, or loneliness, or late nights alone with your phone. Know your sequence. Write it down. Because once you know the trigger chain, you can interrupt it early, before the craving becomes overwhelming. The most common triggers: late nights with unstructured time, stress with no outlet, phone in bed, alcohol. Remove the conditions. Don't trust yourself in the environment that produced the behavior. Step 3. Replace the dopamine source. Your brain is going to demand a reward. It's not going to simply accept nothing. So you need to give it something. Something real, earned, and challenging. This is why the men who succeed at this are almost always the ones who channeled the recovered energy into a hard physical pursuit. Running, lifting, martial arts. The body in challenge produces its own neurochemical reward that begins to replace the artificial one. This is not optional. This is biology. Step 4. Eliminate the infrastructure. Filters on your devices. Phone out of the bedroom at night. A rule. No screen alone, late, in the dark. This is not shame. This is architecture. You are designing your environment to make the old behavior harder and the new behavior easier. Every man who relies on willpower alone in a permissive environment fails eventually. The environment is part of the system. Step 5. Track it publicly to yourself. Keep a count. Not for social media, not for validation, a private count, pen to paper, of the days you've kept the commitment, because your brain needs evidence. Every day on the tracker is a vote for the new identity. A man who keeps his word. A man who chose his future over his comfort. When you hit day 7, something shifts. When you hit day 14, something else shifts. When you hit day 30, you have proof. Undeniable, personal, physical proof that you have more control over yourself than you thought. And that proof changes everything else. I want to say something real before this video ends. The reason this habit has survived in your life this long isn't because you're weak. It's because it was never framed correctly. It was always a moral argument. And moral arguments don't change behavior. They just produce shame. And shame drives men right back to what numbs them. So let me reframe it. This is not about what you're giving up. This is about what you're getting back. You're getting back your drive, the kind that makes you wake up before your alarm and want to attack the day. You're getting back your presence, the ability to actually be in a room with people, to look someone in the eye, to engage with reality instead of a simulation of it. You're getting back your self-respect, the quiet, unspoken kind that comes from doing something difficult, not because someone told you to, but because you decided to. And you're getting back your brain, the one that can focus for 2 hours straight, the one that finds meaning in hard work, the one that sees a goal and moves toward it without flinching. That brain has been there the whole time, waiting. Here's your challenge. Right now, before this video ends, make the decision. Not tomorrow, not when circumstances are perfect. Right now. Open a notes app, a journal, a piece of paper, whatever is in front of you, and write today's date, day 0. That's it. That's the starting line. And then do one thing immediately that makes relapse harder. Move your phone to a different room. Put a filter on your browser. Tell one person you trust what you're doing. Do something, anything, that makes the commitment real in the next 5 minutes. Because here's the truth, that the research supports, and that the men who have done this will confirm. The version of you on the other side of 30 days is not who you used to be. He's sharper, he's calmer, he's more confident in rooms, he shows up differently, he looks people in the eye differently, he moves differently. That man is available to you, not in some distant future. 30 days from right now. The only thing standing between you and him is the decision you make in the next 5 minutes. Most men will watch this video and do nothing. They'll feel inspired for 20 minutes and go back to exactly what they were doing. The window closes, the moment passes, and a year from now they're watching another video asking why nothing ever changes. Don't be that man. Make the decision. Write the date. Like and subscribe for more Awaken the King.